Let's have a look at QANX. Hopefully everything's working and nothing's not hidden. So, let's have a look here. I did this analysis on QANX and I came up with this idea of that one-to-one bridge hack refund being the first wave, and for us into being in this kind of higher time frame WXY ABC 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 to kind of culminate at the end of June. That was my idea. I've looked at this a lot, and the reason why I came up with that idea was because the 618 off this pivot low gave us the all-time high, which is nice. And then also the one-to-one gives us these price discovery horizontals close enough, which is kind of, I liked that. There's a little bit of similarity in where these extended targets landed. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. And when I was talking about the price action before, I was thinking that maybe this is, we're like in a little bit of a corrective flag here. And it looks like we've taken the first step to breaking out of that flag, doesn't it? It just looks like it. Increasing prices, increasing volume. It's kind of what you want to see. Where is my first wave? There. So we've had the first wave, 1 2 3 4 5. Is that the impulse? Is it begun? Have we begun impulsing? Yeah, possibly. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, it's possible. See what that looks like. Didn't come down to the 618. Held above this anchored VWAP. It's a bit messy. It's a little bit messy. I'm not 100%. I can't, because the problem with these type of moves is that you could end up with this whole thing being the corrective A, that's the corrective B, and then you're still looking for a corrective C, which actually takes us down to there. Yeah, that's the problem with these moves. So when you're looking at impulsive moves, you really want to see real impulse and continuation. Until you get that, it's not terribly easy to know if this has begun moving. Okay, let me have a look at the higher time frame candles. You see we have a really nice market buy 2 days ago. That's what that candle represents, increasing volume. So clearly there's people, this is really nice corrective price action. It's not a sell-off. This whole thing's a corrective price action, like a flag. Looks like we're breaking. So actually, if we can kind of hold here, there's a good chance that we do explode up. Yeah, that's kind of how flags work, don't they? You break and then you test. And so it does look like we've broken the flag. And we're just back testing the flag now, the breakout of the flag. It doesn't look like it. And there's a clear invalidation. I'm just looking at these. So I mean, the last week's red candle was pretty bearish because it closed lower. And this week, obviously, we're getting some buyback. The monthly is like looking crazy bullish, isn't it? Wow, all the way up, down, and then it's buying back up. So the volume is nice. We should put in more volume this month. Increasing volume on the monthly time frame, increasing volume, increasing prices. We want to see another green month, and we want to see more volume, huh? We want to see increasing volume, increasing prices. So we have a good part of 5 days. 5 days or 6 days? 6 days to go. Let's see if we can get more volume, huh? More volume, increasing prices with a higher close. I think that'd be really nice. Potentially looking at the beginning of a really nice run here, if that happens, because I can't see that happening at all. Here we had increasing prices, increasing volume, but that was quite expansive already, and then it dropped. Maybe here, if we can just reverse it here, this is looking like a really nice reversal. Increasing prices, increasing volume. Then maybe we can explode out of this and go to higher prices with volume. So volume is really important, and we're at the right time of bull season to start putting in volume, because people are shopping around, and naturally from this initial push, we've got this anchored VWAP which is holding the price. So don't lose the anchored VWAP, and we're going up probably. That's what I think. And then we have to see how we break out, because we have a potential breakout to contemplate. You just can't ignore it, right? We've got this outer trend line that we have to break out from, okay? And so before we even get there from the current price, that's another 63% increase in volume, in price. And let's just say we have put in a pivot here for the next move. Let's just assume that has happened, okay? And bring back my Elliott wave. Let's just have a look at these fib times as well. No, can't really tell. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll know, because the first thing that will happen is it will go up to the this 1.618 and find resistance. That's the first thing we're going to see, because it's not far away. And what's interesting is it's above this horizontal midpoint line. So to get there, you have to take out that pivot, hit it, resist, find support, or alternatively, in a more bullish scenario, break, and then find support like that. You know, so looking at the higher time frame fib time, like I really do look at fib time when I'm analyzing. And if you remember, I had I had us coming on fib time here, the 618. And then our next fib time is third week of October, which is the 1-to-1. I have to see how this plays out. This next move, we have to see how it plays out. Okay. QANX could quite easily go against the market just because it's a layer 1, and there are some things which tell me that there's no alignment with the rest of crypto here. Just the fact that the price action has gone sideways while most altcoins over the last at least 6 months or longer have just crashed in price. So QANX has definitely not done that. Yeah, it's gone sideways and we're just kind of in this accumulation range. And naturally, that means fib time is going to be slightly different to the rest of crypto. And maybe that was the pivot at the end of June or the third week of June. And then that means that the next ride would be up to mid-October or third week of October. Maybe crypto is going to crash again and QANX is just going to go up and up and up because of the Mainnet launch. If QANX can get a good run after this consolidation and the rest of crypto is crashing and QANX starts running, then what you'll end up getting is, because we're in the kind of the alt season sentiment, we're all kind of the end of the bull market sentiment, pump sentiment, you could get a situation like the perfect storm where QANX just pumps and pumps and pumps regardless of the rest of crypto. You could get that with the mainnet. The mainnet is critical to what happens next. I think the mainnet is key, actually. That's really what people are expecting. That needs to happen. Funding, I don't know. I don't think they need funding, do they? I don't know. I really don't know much about the fundamentals of QANX. I get most of my information from friends and these two channels that I'm in. This trading channel, they talk a lot, and then they obviously the official channel. I think they were being audited and they're just waiting for that audit to complete. A lot of people chatting about their expectations. A lot of people are here. These are the channels. This is the official one. That's that trading one that I'm in. There's quite a lot of members as well. Like in this trading channel, you've got nearly 1,000 members, and it's quite an active community, and they're just chatting about all kinds of stuff. Price targets. There's a lot of expectation, so they have to deliver, and this is really important to know. If they underperform or underdeliver, that's going to have it's basically going to end up being a pump and dump. Yeah, they have to overperform, they have to overdeliver. It's a reality. Look, this guy Coral Reef says 20x very soon. Well, let's have a look at 20x. I would love a 20x. I mean, I'm not going to say no to 20x. Honestly, 20x. I'll tell you where 20x is. I mean, it's within reach, 20x. That takes us to my target. That's really my target. 20x is my target. Really. On a breakout like this, hell yeah. If we get the volume to confirm the breakout and the mainnet launches, and then the rest of all season and bull market is going a little bit mental, yeah, 20x. Why not? Would you take profit at my first target, which is the all-time high? Yes, you would. And I'm actually been thinking about this a lot. How much profit am I going to take at the all-time high? I think I'm going to take 50% actually. Even though I'm bullish, even though I think this will go much higher, I was just thinking about how much profit am I going to take. Where's my phone? I need to calculate. Don't know where I put my phone. It's a hard one, but you have to, yeah, because that's your first big resistance zone. Let me just use a calculator here. Calculate times 0.2, let's say 0.2. It's too much money to not take profit at all-time highs. I'll be honest with you, it's just too much money to not take profit. There's already a big gain, a big enough increase in value to not take profit. It'd be hard not to. It'd be very hard not to. I'd have to be like, honestly, if I was going to not take profit, I have to just forget about this token and never look at it and come back in years like maximalist Bitcoiners. That's a 50%, 500% increase in value. How can you not take profit into resistance after a 500% increase in value? I would probably take profit, and then I'm just thinking about how much I would take right now. But I'm imagining 60%, 50 to 60%. And then if it kept on going, so let's say 50%, or if it kept on going to my target of 20x, which is 75 cents, I still walk away with a shit ton of gains, you know, like I still walk away happy, you know, really happy. Like, I mean, that the money that you walk away with is still life-changing money. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing, you have to be looking at your situation and thinking about life-changing transformation to take profit there and then take profit there. You'll if you can walk away, if you take 50% there and maybe you take the rest there, then if you can walk away with life-changing money in those two take profits, yeah, of course you're not going to be waiting for billions, and like, you're not going to be a billionaire, but that life-changing money you can do something with. And then when you do with that life-changing money, you can reaccumulate the dips. Yeah. And that's the thing, like, I always think about what to do with crypto gains, and sometimes I'll be honestly, I'm like everyone else, like, you know, I've made shit tons, I've lost shit tons, and that's the life of crypto traders. Like, every crypto trader, crypto investor has made shit ton of money or lost a shit ton of money, and I'm no exception. I'm not any different. And what I'm starting to do, like what I'm starting to learn, is that it's better when you have made some significant money that's going to change your life, take it out, start a real world business, and then start reaccumulating with real world gains in businesses that are tangible and that have real world value. Yeah. The problem with crypto is it can go up a lot and it can come down a lot. It can overshoot and it can overcorrect. And the evidence of that is a token that I've been investing in for a long time, is TRVL, you know. And, you know, people who've been following me know, like, this is painful, you know, watching your value. I wish I'd put all my value in QANX when I look at TRVL, because then I could reaccumulate at much lower prices, not expecting a 92% drop. Crazy, you know, all the way from the 2nd of December 24, not even within the space of a year. Yeah, this is not reminiscent of problems in the project. I'm sorry, in the fundamentals of the project. Just like QANX might not have any problems with the fundamentals of the project, this drop is 100% loss of confidence in the leadership. 100%. Got nothing to do with the project itself. The fundamentals of this business are sound, really sound. The product is amazing, really amazing. Yeah. But you have no control over certain aspects of the project, like poor leadership, poor decisions, a poor relationship with the market, or understanding what the market really wants or desires. Yeah. So you have to be careful, you know, when you're in crypto and you're investing and you're thinking to yourself, sure, QANX has clearly got the potential to be a 10 billion, $50 billion market cap token. Clearly has that potential. Yeah. And a large portion of that potential has got everything to do with quantum computing and quantum chips. Let's have a look at AI and see what AI says. How far are we away from 10,000 qubit chip? Let's see what Grok says. We're using Grok 4, so it should be quite an in-depth study. It's going to go and search the web for us and tell us. So we're at 1,000 qubits now. We want 10,000 qubits, right? That's the next round number. Here you go. IBM plans, that was by 2009. We're likely, oh my God. So there's going to be some information here. Grok is like searching the web for us, telling us how far we are from a 10,000 qubit chip. And then we're going to ask Grok, what qubit processor will it take to break Bitcoin? Because that's the next question, right? Because that's when all the liquidity and value is going to flood to QANX, isn't it? So IBM has 1,121 qubits using superconducting technology. So the technology is not accessible. So look, read this. Let me see how long this is. If it's long, I'm not going to read it. As of July 25, no quantum chip has reached 10,000 qubits. The largest operational quantum processors are significantly smaller, with the focus split between physical qubits and logical qubits. IBM's Condor processor is 1,121 physical qubits, and D-Wave's advantage over 5,000 physical qubits specialized for optimization, not computing. Okay. Okay, so that gives you some options. These systems are available. So IonQ, their timeline is 2027 on a single chip. Look, 10,000 physical qubits on a single chip. Pascal by 2028. QEra, 10,000 physical qubits by 2026. And IBM 2029. So IBM's really on it, huh? And that's great because we have Quant Platform has a partnership with IBM, but it's still far away. And then obviously Microsoft, they lie, don't they? So we have no idea. So the first 10,000 qubit chips announced as early as 2026. For example, Cura putting us about a year away from prototypes. More conservative estimates from IBM suggest 4 years, right? So we're looking somewhere between 1 to 4 years according to this. And then how many qubits would it take to break the Bitcoin and or Dogecoin encryption? So I think it doesn't matter if you break Bitcoin, we just have to break one of them. And I think the weakest one. Yeah. And I was just thinking maybe Dogecoin. I don't know if what Dogecoin, what the encryption they use, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin. It could be just one of the big ones. Like it could even be ETH. Who cares? Just one of them, one of the big ones. Let's have a look. Within an hour, they need 13 million qubits. Shit. That's too many, huh? This is the moment of truth. Has anyone done this? Like John has just gone into AI and tried to do some research on timelines. $126,000 qubits. Should I have done quick answer? I don't know. I guess I want a complete answer. Huh? We want the full answer. We don't want a quick answer. I should go and make another tea and come back and the answer will be ready for me. So Bitcoin and Dogecoin both rely on the same cryptographic primitive for secured private keys and transactions. Okay, this is all technical stuff. Logical qubits, these represent the ideal error-corrected qubits needed to run Shor's algorithm on a 256-bit curve. So recent estimates, 2025, include Google's optimizations for Shor's circuit, thereabouts 2,500 logical qubits. These figures assume a fault-tolerant quantum computer. The algorithm also requires a massive number of gates, making execution time intensive even with sufficient qubits. Real quantum tech hardware is noisy, so error correction multiplies the qubit count significantly. Estimates vary based on desired runtime error rates and code efficiency. So with 13 million plus to break it within 1 to 10 hours, with the 2025 optimizations using cat qubits, thereabouts 126,000 physical qubits in 9 hours. So here it is. Here's the answer. So there's a difference between logical and physical, and so I'm not really familiar, to be honest with you, with the big differences. Doesn't really help us. Doesn't give us no quantum computer today max 1,000 qubits can achieve this. Projections suggest 5 to 10 plus years for sufficient scale. So we're away, huh? We're still a way away. Okay, so the reality is what the liquidity that's going to come into Quan platform is not going to be liquidity from the rest of the crypto market because of a hack, a qubit hack or a qubit encryption hack. Yeah, it's going to be businesses, developers, startups, companies who are preparing for the future. And so maybe you've got companies like IBM, etc., and the partnerships that Quan platform are developing who are forward looking, and they're going, okay, why are we building our blockchain using ETH when we should be using Quan platform? And that's really primarily where the liquidity is going to come from, because clearly you can see it's not straightforward, but we're looking at least 5 to 10 years for sufficient scale. Okay, and that's still a way away. And it's definitely beyond this bull market. It's probably the next bull market. Doesn't mean we can't see a pump, and that's going to be with the mainnet. And so while people are thinking to themselves, I'm going to buy and hold and never sell, the reality is technically you have to sell the all-time high. You have to. Yeah, not financial advice, but you have to. Yeah, you have to take profit at the all-time high. You can't, I wouldn't say sell it all. And so obviously I'm just formulating my ideas now. I'm just thinking probably half, probably 50% into resistance. The reason why is because you could reject and come all the way back down, couldn't you? And if you did that, you've just lost all that value, 70% of value. And if you do take profit and you come all the way back down, if enough people do that, we have a chance to hold for a higher low after this corrective move, for a reaccumulation to go back up, you know. And that's kind of what you want. You want people to sell, to buy back higher, but for a higher low. It's kind of what we want. But again, who knows? Like, that's the thing. We don't know what kind of alt season we're going to get. And as far as the timings are concerned, I think we're at the right time. I'm looking at this fib time now that I drew, and it does look good, huh? It does look pretty good. I picked it from this pivot to this pivot based on this idea of WXY, and that's the 618. And you can see that there is a little bit of a initial impulsive reaction. I just wanted to have a look at it again today to see how it looked, and it looks pretty good. Okay, and so short of any delays or problems, I think we have a good chance to rally up to the all-time high. And then I don't know what happens next. I really don't know. And so we just have to see how that plays out. let me have a look at, I'm not going to go on for much longer, but let me just have a look at the regular chart as well, just to see how this looks. And so you have to look at the regular chart, because at the moment going up 20x will take us all the way there. You're clearly not going to go up in one straight line. You're not going to just go zoop. It's more likely than not, when you're looking at the regular chart, that you do kind of go up like that for like that. Zip zip, you're more likely, then that's your kind of big crazy move. Shh. I don't know about the timings, but that's your big crazy move. It's more likely to be something like that, to get one first initial pump, take out all of the highs to the all-time high, come back down for a higher low here, some kind of higher low, reaccumulation, retest some kind of levels, breakout line, whatever, for another kind of like another crazy push to take us to the highest target, which I have in my mind. I think that's more likely scenario. So that's kind of what's on my mind right now, and I'm not thinking to myself anything else. And so naturally, I think I'm just holding until I hit that target. Yeah, doesn't mean I don't buy and sell small amounts, like $200 here and there when I need it, and buy it, you know, like when I feel like it, I'll just buy it, sell it a couple of $100, a little payday, you know, like a little happy payday. If I see a little pump, I'll buy it, I'll sell a little bit, just kind of treat myself. But the reality is that I'm waiting, just like everyone else, for higher targets. And so this is kind of what I have in my mind. That's kind of QANX. Any questions? If not, what I've been thinking of doing is doing a QANX update every Friday. Yeah, from now on, just because I have my own little kind of nest egg of QANX tokens, and that naturally the community are amazing community. I really appreciate it. Like, share my videos, I really appreciate it. And you know, the more positive energy I get back from the community, obviously I'm gonna keep on looking at this and keep on trying to promote the future QANX and the future in quantum computing. Actually, to be honest with you, just looking at the response from Grok, I am thinking of a long-term strategy for the future, for the 5 years plus, because the reality is that this isn't going away. And you can clearly see that there are large competing companies with pretty close timelines. Time will pass very quickly, and what I'm thinking is of a longer term strategy to accumulate QANX and hold it for a longer period of time after this kind of initial bull market pump. How am I thinking? I'm thinking to myself, probably similar to a lot of people in their Bitcoin strategy, just accumulating a little bit on a daily or weekly basis. Yeah, like a long-term DCA. And after we do get this kind of move, if we do get a kind of move to higher prices, that's kind of what then I'll be thinking about doing, as a long-term DCA, and buying red candles, maybe buying weekly red candles and just using it as a long-term dollar cost average strategy. All right, so that's QANX.